press 2.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. How are you today? Did you? Oh, okay. I'm going to have to
Your
stop.
show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Lilydale Radio, featuring topics about spiritualism, mediumship, healing, spirituality, and the Lilydale Assembly, the world's largest center for the religion, philosophy, and science of spiritualism. This is Lilydale Radio.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, Anna Marie. You found us. I just sent you how to get on. I'm happy that you did. Hey, everybody, as you come on. Yeah, good morning, Chantal. It's good to see you here. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to Spiritual Discoveries. My name is Reverend Angie Abt. I'm a registered Lilydale medium and also owner of Santosha Holistic Center in Williamsville. And I'm so excited to welcome my friends, special guest Linda Ellson, owner of Feng Shui Your World. Hi, Linda.
Hi there, Angie. Hi, Karen.
Hi. And next to me is Karen Sully, my buddy that helps me do everything, really runs Santosha. Thanks, Karen, for everything.
No, I just handle the tech.
Help us a lot. Helps a lot.
Yeah, the tech.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But anyways, welcome you guys. I'm happy that you're here. And I'm just waiting a couple minutes to let people get on because I don't want any of you to miss any part of this important show, okay? Linda is here and we're going to be talking about Feng Shui and energy changes for when does the new year start, Linda, for Feng Shui?
Well, for the year of the tiger, actually the knowledge and the awareness is that in Feng Shui circles it'll be changing on February the 4th, but anybody who's maybe looking at a Lunar New Year calendar would say, isn't that February the 1st actually? And actually it does become the year of the tiger on February 1st, but in Feng Shui we make changes and honor the shifts on a static day, which is February the 4th of any given year.
Okay.
So coming soon, less than a month away, but
I think we're going to have you back on so we can have our celebration. Remember we did that last year?
Drinking orange juice, rolling in the gold, wearing our red. Yeah, I would love to join you.
Yes, that sounds
it's
good.
actually considered very auspicious when you gather with friends and family, and you can gather virtually as well. So I welcome the celebration with you and our virtual people here on Lilydale.
I know. It's kind of amazing that we can do this virtual and get together the way that we do now, isn't it?
Oh, truly.
It's amazing. Hi, Helen from New Hampshire. Anna Marie, I know we feel the same. Carrie, good morning. Tracy, Linda. Hi, Linda, my buddy. How are you? Good morning, everybody. It's good to see you. So, all right. So before we start our show, let's quickly, what's your most favorite thing about Lilydale, Linda?
I would have to say it's the inspiration stump. And Lilydale posted the most incredible snowy picture on their Facebook page yesterday. And if all of you are, joining us through that page, take a look at that photo. And I was so inspired. I shared it onto my page and, reminding people that I was going to be on the Blog Talk Radio, but like you could feel the energy in that photo, even in the snow. And it was interesting because when I reposted, I talked about, hey, we're going to be talking about the energy shifts, but and I was inspired to say that too, through that photo of looking at the stump. And I think, every time I go to the stump, and of course we mostly go there in the summer months, and we're so blessed and fortunate living here in Western New York to have that in our own backyard. But there's just something about it's always exciting to see the mediums and, you're hoping you're going to get a message, but that whole walk leading to the stump and being in that forest and you can feel the energy coming off the trees. It is so special. And I have several photos of, just like walking through the woods because those trees, they resonate. So the stump for me.
Oh yeah, and you know what? I think that it is for me too. And I'll tell you, like how you talk about the energy. You're right. You walk into that woods, and it's a virgin forest, so they don't cut trees down there for I
Right.
can't remember how many years, but a lot. And but you get there as a medium, and you're always a little scared, like that you're going to get up there, and you're always hoping, like, oh gosh, I hope I get a good message for somebody. But the minute you stand up there and you're in that energy, I think Karen and I did a live one time from there. And you stand in that energy, the messages come so easy. Like like I feel like it's a good place for anybody to connect to their intuition, not just the mediums. Like you go there and just kind of stand in that area or sit in the benches, even when there aren't services going on. And you'll find that if you get quiet, you'll be connecting to your intuition. Yeah. Don't you agree?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And of course, that's Lilydale, and it's really, really special. But I have to share a tip about trees in general, but particularly pine trees. And it was something that I did the other day. We had a really not an overly big snow day, but we had a snow day right on Thursday.
Little one.
And I'm so busy working at this time of year. But so I don't even think I even got out that day. And I love a good snowstorm. I love driving in it. I love walking in it.
I do too.
But one of the easy tips that we can all do is, if we all know a pine tree nearby, there's something about pine trees in general. Like if you're feeling like stressed out or a little emotional, I have a pine tree right by my house. Like I went outside and I literally held onto the branches, like connected in, like was, like, again, it was a big tree. So it could take my body weight.
Yeah.
And within a minute, I could feel that connection and that life force coming through the tree. It was amazing. But the Native Americans say in particular, it's pine that does that. So, I mean, listen, I'm a tree hugger, and I'll never forget, when I went on my very first trip to the Redwood Forest in California, and, you hear about people tree hugging in California. I thought, oh, really? Is that a thing? And I mean, I couldn't help myself. Yeah, I was just like, I couldn't quite wrap myself, obviously, around a redwood tree.
Big, yes, yeah.
It was palpable. And, the thing is, in Feng Shui, it is all about being in rhythm and harmony with nature. And that beautiful virgin woods at Lilydale and the pine tree, that's wood element, and that's growth energy. And it's powerful. We talk about in Feng Shui about, how we move energy around the home, but good Feng Shui is found in nature. And then when we study it or know how to apply it, that's what we're going for, is the replication of the feel good of nature. And when our home just, when we're onto something or we start applying Feng Shui principles, it's rather palpable. But of course, it's the energy so magnified at Lilydale, right? And
I know it sure is. What's your favorite thing, Karen?
I like the stump as well. I like the path going to the stump. Yeah. I think that the going down and having the trees on both sides and seeing all the nature and it's just something about getting there that I like as well.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Okay, so everybody, so you're joining us. Thank you so much. We are waiting for people to get on, and my name is Reverend Angie Abt. I'm a registered Lilydale medium. With me are my good friends Linda Ellson of Feng Shui Your World and Karen Sully of K Dynamics. So yeah, welcome you guys. I'm happy that you're here. Linda's going to talk to us a lot about some really good Feng Shui tips and an exciting event that's coming up next week that, because of Zoom, anybody can come to. So we're excited about that too. And I just have to tell a quick story. So I remember about 10 years ago, my friend Cheryl, and you know her, right, Linda?
I do. Yes, I do.
Yes. And Cheryl said to me, you have to go with me. Linda Ellson, she's having this Feng Shui yearly event, and you need to come, because I'm telling you, if you make some changes like to your energy and to your house and to your office, like all these things that you're feeling stuck about are going to change. You have to go to this class. And I didn't know anything about Feng Shui, and I said, I don't know, really, like, doing that is gonna change my life. And she said, I'm telling you, it's changed mine. It's doing things for my daughters. You have to go. So we went. I never told you this story, Linda.
No,
So,
I've never heard this.
yeah. So we came to class, and you gave all the tips, and told us what to do, and I was surprised. It's like little things, add this color to something, or add a money frog for this, or all the chimes and the different things that I know you're going to talk about. And so I did. I'm like, I went home. I was like a mad person. I'm doing all this. I got to have the product. I got to do it. And so and I did, and it changed my life. And then all of a sudden, I didn't know what to do next with my business, Santosha, and I didn't know what to do next, like in my life, with so many things. And Cheryl said, you said too, that when you feng shui it properly, or have the energy in order properly, you open things up so the energy can flow. Is that
absolutely? Yeah,
that's why it worked. So thank you. And I've been coming ever since. I haven't missed one yet, which, by the way, everybody, that just gives me next Saturday, which is January 15th, from 1 to 3, that workshop I just told you about that I went to 10 years ago. Okay, that's happening this week. So I would recommend. I mean, it's so nice. We're doing it hybrid, and so it's in person, but it's also going to be on Zoom. And how exciting that anybody can come. And I'm telling you that if you come and if you pay attention and you make those little changes in your home, if you're feeling stuck or you're feeling blue or what have you, you will feel better. Right, Linda?
Oh, truly. And I just saw in chat, our friend Anna Marie Sinatra is quoting me back saying, Linda always says a little feng shui is better than no feng shui, or a little bit goes a long way. And that's true, Anna Marie. Absolutely. And, sometimes it's just about making subtle little shifts and changes. It's kind of like, the level of feng shui that I practice, and there are different styles of feng shui. There's about 12 different styles altogether, but the type of feng shui that I practice is traditional classical form feng shui, which looks at how energy changes over time. And you also, use compass readings and, find out when your house was built and all that kind of good stuff. But that level of feng shui, or the level of feng shui that I guide people at with the annual energy class that's next Saturday, is very specific. Where do you say maybe need that potted plant, like the pine trees or that virgin forest we were talking about? Where do you need a pop of red, or maybe some metal for strengthening? And we get into talking about very specifically in the given year, what do you need to do? And I always say to people, you really don't need to spend a fortune to have good feng shui. You can go shopping in your own home and move things around, but it's like energetically moving things around. And I joke that I'm kind of like the cruise director, for the year. And I help people navigate the energies that are coming up. And just to put it in perspective, there's short-term feng shui, and then there's long-term feng shui. So annual energy is very, very powerful. And it's really about tapping into the current energy in time and space. But I also have to say is that long-term feng shui is also very, very important. And to me, that application specific to our homes, or even the basic application, like if you've taken a feng shui basics class with me, or, we do an online video course called Feng Shui Essentials that can guide you through the basics of what you need to do in your house. That is truly the most important feng shui, because that carries you for the long haul. But again, if you want some quick results to help you jumpstart in the year, or protect energy a little bit more in health, and we all need to do that this year, then the basic, the annual application is definitely a great one. But I want to just put that in perspective about long-term, short-term, and the importance of the harmony of both.
Yeah, no, that sounds great. So talk. Oh, here's Anna Marie. Shop in your own home. Linda helped me do that when she did my residential consultation.
Truly. And it's fun, like we might have forgotten about something, on, a back shelf or in a closet. And like all of a sudden it takes on a new life, or, you move something from one side of the room to another and you have a whole new appreciation for it. That's fun. And I always love it when I do, consultations in real time, if I'm doing a feng shui check-in, and we're actually like hands-on moving things together. And I feel things as a practitioner, but I get so excited when my client says, oh my gosh, I love it, or oh my God, I can feel that. And then you're on to something.
I know what you mean. I feel like that when I'm with clients too. But you know what though? That's true with the feng shui, because you'll say, add this color, or just move, and I'll move my pictures around or something, and all of a sudden you feel like I can breathe.
Yes.
I also
want to say the flip side though. I do want to make a flip side comment. Someone I saw in chat, and we can certainly address the question, asked about the placement of their bed. And when I'm doing in-depth consultations, I get into people's personal power directions. We all have them. It's called your Bhagwan number. And it's a formula that you work with based on a person's month, day, and year of birth. And it helps to tap us into our 4 top power directions and the best, direction we should sit in or sleep in, or, have a Zoom consultation, or be on air, or do our studies, or, do the interview for the new job that's coming up, even if it's portable. I'm losing my train of thought there, but anyhow, power directions are powerful things.
Let me comment on that because I remember you came in and you said that to me one time. I was teaching, and I said, it's always so strange, because you always when you came to Santosha, I always taught by the fireplace, and you always wanted to teach on the opposite side, and I always found that curious, and I said that to you because I said, if I sit by the door and I try to teach there, my thoughts are scattered. I feel like I can't teach. I have to do it by the fireplace. And you said that's because of your feng shui power direction here, and you printed one up for me. So
I remember that location. So the reason I was on the opposite side of the room teaching when I taught at that Santosha location in person was I'm a West Group person. So you're either a West Group person or you're an East Group person. And so on that back side of the room, I got to face west when I taught. It was good for me, good for my students, because what's good for the teachers benefits everyone for that time being that you're in the classroom. But Angie was the opposite. She was an East Group person, so it was better that she was standing by this fireplace facing towards the back of the property. And that's just kind of like if you're figuring out power directions for a family, or who should sit where at the dining room table. With Karen also does help, works with me on my website and stuff like that. And we recently, as a result of a Feng Shui for Health class that I taught, we now have a link and access that we provide personal power direction charts for people. So if you want to learn a little bit more about that, I'm sure Karen can, put that in the chat. And I also want to say, it's not something that we get into so much in the annual energy class, except that there are always good directions and not such great directions that we can face or not face in any given year. And that also includes like digging and renovating. And that is a very big thing that I cover in the annual energy every year. And it really is helpful to learn that information so early on, especially if you're planning any kind of home renovation, even painting, or do I have the concrete repaired on the patio this year, or could it really wait? Or, oh, wow, it'd be a great year to do the concrete on the patio or fix that drain pipe. You get that idea. But it's awesome to have that sense of navigation. But then what I do in the class is I'll allude to, like, for an example, we are all ideally not supposed to face northeast this year. And I give very specific degrees. Any given direction covers a 45-degree angle. So it's just kind of like this last 15 degrees in the year of the tiger, like almost segueing into the east that we're not supposed to face. But not too many people live that level of minutia in their life. So the easiest thing for me to say is, hey, don't sit facing northeast this year, because we'd say you're confronting the annual energy with the grand duke of the year, the tiger of the year.
Yeah.
You can have them at your back, but it's too heavy to face. But if you know this, if it's one of your personal power directions, you're like me, it's actually my best business luck direction, but it's just one of the directions I don't use personally for the year because I have a really healthy respect for that, you know?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. And,
So you just attend a meeting and have the compass on your phone and you're just like, da, 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 da.
Oh, Karen, absolutely. You know, and I got to share, you know, I also, I work in real estate and I help people buy and sell homes with Feng Shui. And really, we've been doing so much virtually and remotely, and we do a lot electronically these days. But back in the old days, when I would bring clients in and they would be signing contracts, I mean, truly, it's my office, right? So, but I knew exactly which seat based on my power direction. I could either sit here facing west on this side of the table, facing southwest, and then I would have my clients sit down. But then I coach my clients too in their, of course, in their cubicle space or in their office space, or if they're, you know, sitting down for the promotional interview. Sometimes it could even be just angling your seat a little bit to talk to your boss about, you know, getting that raise or what have you, you know. But absolutely, the accessibility of, you can even download a compass on a phone. Absolutely, very, very portable. I've even pulled over my car and I've negotiated real estate deals on the lake shore because I would angle myself towards the water and be in my, you know, top wealth and, you know, success luck direction, probably somewhere near Anna Marie's house on the water, quite frankly.
Probably, yeah. So, okay, so talk about Year of the Tiger. So what is Year of the Tiger? So we're coming out of Year of the Ox, right? So we have a little bit longer to go with that, and then we go to Year of the Tiger.
Yeah. So, what the exciting thing about the tiger is, well, first of all, there's a total of 12 zodiac animals in the lunar Chinese astrology system. And the tiger is actually the third animal sign in the zodiac. And it is actually a yang water tiger. And water is about flow and flexibility. But you think tiger, you know, tiger is the only wild animal in the whole zodiac. And but tiger is exciting energy. Tiger is about transformation. And tiger is coming in on yang water. So it's not like a little stream. It's like the wave that a surfer would take in an ocean. So it's like that tiger energy, that transformative energy is riding that wave, that energy that shows up to lead us for the year, for those new opportunities. I mean, you know, that we can all think, like, at least here for those of us in the States, or we're here in New York, we were one of the first states that kind of came upon the pandemic now 2 years ago. And I think we are all so tired of it, right?
I know, yes.
It's like, I don't know about you, but I'm starting to feel this bubbling up of excitement. Of course, I get very excited at this time of year because I'm about to teach all of this information, and I love presenting, and it's truly a labor of love. But I think you can tell, like, you know, yes, we're still kind of in that little tail end of the plot of the ox. And for those of you who follow Western astrology, we're creeping into a Mercury retrograde, but it's giving us the opportunity to reflect on, what do we want to change? What do we want to transform in a really positive way? And one of the things that I love is, just as a result of having to go hybrid this year, last year we had to go fully online, I've had to teach this class this much early on in the year. So what I think that a lot of my clients and students like about that is it gives them a few weeks. Number one, we're going to talk about how to prepare your home to welcome the energy, because that is one of the biggest things we can do. Whether you only apply this much Feng Shui, we'll talk about how you prepare your home to welcome new energy. But it gives us a few weeks to really prepare, plan, and plot about what we want to create or manifest. And by the way, in the class every year, I give the big key spot that is very right for manifestation. So whether that's putting a vision board or a goal list, every year there's a secret spot in our homes that we can really tap into that. Let's make it happen and co-create together. So co-creating with Feng Shui, very powerful.
Right, absolutely. And that can help us with the not being stuck too, right? To get us unstuck is create in that area, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, my eyes just fell on Karen on the screen. And, you know, we talked about the tiger being the year of the yang water tiger. Now, water element colors, our lovely model there is wearing a very flowy blue scarf. And blue is water element. And, you know, one of the big things that my clients start like texting and blowing up my phone and ask is, Well, what's the purse color of the year? Well, I'm going to say to you too, you have to stay tuned or come to our class.
Yeah,
We're going
yes,
to announce
we'll
that too
find
for
out.
ladies and men. Don't forget, we are going to talk about your wallets too. Someone in chat I saw go by posted about that they have a red wallet.
She has her, yeah, Stephanie. I have my red wallet, and I can't wait to see what this year brings. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Stephanie, I will tell you, I'll give you all a little hint. That red wallet can also be used and repurposed this year. I have my red wallet, although I will tell you, here's a feng shui tip for you, something that I need to do, and I encourage Stephanie and all of you to do, whether you have a red wallet or not. Our personal feng shui also matters. So Karen is wearing a personal, scarf. It's the color blue. It is one of the colors of the year. I believe, Karen, I think it's one of your personal power element colors. Is it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and it like resonates. I don't know what you all think, but I think it really resonates.
It looks really good. Yeah.
I don't know if I should wear this scarf or not. I'm thinking, no. Well, first of all, it tells the story of the water tiger, but it also it just resonates with her, and it looks good on her. It's one of her power colors. We all have them.
Yeah, but you know what? It lights up her face. It does.
It does, doesn't it?
Everybody, she looks great.
This is my color, according to if you have the seasons of your colors done for you.
Oh, yeah.
This is one of my colors.
Yeah,
so.
you know what? I love it because it really does look and feel spot on. I had my colors. These are outside. We're talking outside of feng shui here. I'm autumn. I think you can kind of tell that even with my coloring, but I am autumn. But I have this little color deck that occasionally when I think about it, and if I do go old fashioned shopping, I'll bring, sometimes I just will spot something. I'll be like, oh, I really like that color. And would you know, I pull out my little color deck and I'm like, it matches spot on. And I got to tell you, one of my clients who, super long-term client, dresses in all of her power element colors, but that aside, like she always looks like spot on. And years ago, I said to her, like, how is it that you look so on point all the time? But she too, like you, had her colors done years ago, but you tap that into your personal power elements. And that's something that we do in those personal power charts on my website. We also tap people into their personal power elements. So it's not just about feng shui of your home. It's about what you wear, what you drive in your car. But going back to the wallet, we should all, here, tip number one, we should all be cleaning out our wallets at this time of year because there is wealth energy to tap into and money to be made in the year of the tiger. And don't we all want to know that with the state of our economy? We're not going to get into that, but we know we would all like a little bit more flow, I think, when we go to the grocery store these days. But anyhow, we open and welcome up. Number one, it's very practical. Decluttering is a very practical thing to do. So we want to, if we have any little receipts that we're just stuffing in the back, we want to purge that. If our wallet is worn or, tattered in any way, it is considered very auspicious to actually buy a new wallet or a new purse leading up to, number one, the Chinese New Year, actually, which this year will be February the 1st. And by the way, the Chinese New Year, or we'd say that really the Lunar New Year, and we reference Chinese New Year because feng shui originated in ancient China, but really it's been practiced much throughout the Pacific Rim for more than 3,000 plus years and landed in the US about 35 years ago. The Lunar New Year is always the second new moon after the winter solstice. So that's why sometimes it's in January, sometimes it's in February, sometimes it's early February, sometimes it's late February. But this year it's February 1. But again, the feng shui energy changes February the 4th. And that changes with this Hsia calendar, which is basically the farmer's almanac from, that eastern part of the world where we draw all of the ancient knowledge and wisdom, but I want to say too, while that may sound like, ancient, it's, modern application is how to work with it in our home, in our office, what we wear, what we drive in a car. And so many diehards have called me from car dealerships saying, what's my power color? What color car should I buy? So there's so many different ways.
That's funny because that's true too. I always have a red car and it always makes me feel so much better. And last time I bought a car, they didn't have red. I bought blue. I like it, but it's not the same. There is something about like being in the energy or the power of your colors and what, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Anna Marie said, what about the red envelope in your wallet? I still have mine in my wallet.
Oh yeah, that's a really simple, easy thing to do. And thanks for the reminder, Anna Marie. Absolutely. So whether you're a red wallet person or not, it is always considered very auspicious to have a red envelope with a few dollars in it in any given year. So when I say a few dollars, usually we look at even denominations of money when we're talking about, like, it's powerful to give like around Lunar New Year time, and it's a 15-day celebration, but to give money to children in red envelopes, number one. But keeping it energized in your wallet, so it's kind of like always having. But red is such, and we're talking red, like fire engine red envelopes.
Yeah,
those are the typical
I have one too.
Lunar New Year envelopes, and you put even dollar amounts. Now, what I love to do, I always like to keep it $8 in my wallet in the red envelope. Eight is the number of prosperity for now. Okay, 8 will always be considered an auspicious number in Feng Shui. But here's a secret tip for all of us. The rising number for prosperity is the number 9. Okay. And I have to tell you, let's all just happen to look at the calendar today too. Today is the 9th day of the month. And 9 is also the rising period. We talk about energy and periods in Feng Shui. We are segueing and already heading towards what we call the period of 9. And that's just markers of time and how we analyze energy in terms of Feng Shui. But one of the hallmarks, and I think it's just perfect being here on Lilydale Blog Talk Radio, the oldest spiritualist community in the United States, is that the period 9 is giving rise to spirituality. And that means for all of us, but these patterns of energy, they ripple through the globe. So it's like, as a global society, there'll be a rise starting in 2024, but we're already headed there. And by the way, and I'm going to be talking about this in my class, this year, in the year of the tiger, the energy that we analyze, north, south, east, west, and the 4 subdirections, northeast, southeast, southwest, etc., in our homes, is going back to we'd say the original Lo Shu, we call it, the original Bhagwan energy map, where Feng Shui originated from. But it's also a hint to where we're going in this period of 9. And I also have to point out, and I hope everyone else is seeing on the screen what I'm seeing, but the background, of course, Lilydale, a lot of us associate purple as being a very spiritual color, but it is the rising color for the period of 9. So for you purple lovers out there, and a lot of my clients love purple, it is definitely a rising color. But also fire element is another powerful whisper element that we are going to be using in the year of the tiger. And that's another thing we always will talk about in any given year, is what are the powerful colors that we need to really work with in our home, or use personally.
Well, you know what, I saw this. I try to be prepared before we talk, but so Feng Shui, a practice that believes in balancing energies to bring luck, wealth, and ensure good health. And tiger is ambition, competitive spirit, impulsiveness, communication. So I loved that, because it really does feel like that, like when it's balancing your energy, right?
Absolutely.
For luck, wealth, and health.
Yes. And all of the energies are really going to be magnified this year. And the knowledge and the awareness is that in any given year, there's going to be the yin and the yang. There's going to be the good to the possibility and opportunity for the great. And there could be the weaker or the not so good. So in Feng Shui, where it's going to be really, really good, we're going to learn how to boost that. And I guide people on how to do that. Where it's flatter or weaker. And again, there's 2 things. There's 2 hallmarks you need to know about for the year. Number 1, on a very practical Feng Shui level, you need to take very good care of your health this year. You need to the whole family needs to take care of the health this year. But like I said, there's also wealth opportunities. But something in your quote that you just read, Angie, another really important thing that we all need to know, we need to take on a practical level, we all need to take extra steps to work towards family harmony, because there can be potential discord this year. So, there's certain gemstones and crystals, and I know at the Crystal Cove, that's another one of my favorite spots on the Lilydale property. I love the Crystal Cove. I don't know if they're open. Are they open at this time of year, Angie?
No, she's usually closed in the winter. Yeah. Probably like she'll be opening come spring. I'll announce it because I love
that. Definitely. That's one of my favorite spots for gemstones and crystals, and I love wandering through that store. But anyhow, but on a practical level, we need to really work towards keeping the family harmony, or it might be the year to taking a deep breath before you speak, because you mentioned about tiger can be impulsive. They can be impulsive. So we need to be aware of that.
Oh, so impulsive that we might be saying something we shouldn't be saying, things like that to the family.
Potentially.
Yeah. Okay. So that's interesting. And I have to tell, I've told this story before, and I know you know it, but I'm going to tell it again because this is why, Feng Shui really does work. And when you change things around and you get in the flow of that energy, you really do change your life. And I remember my husband, and you know this story, Linda. My husband went to school actually to be a nurse, and he wasn't finding a job, and wasn't finding a job, and wasn't finding a job. And I said it to Linda, he wasn't finding the perfect job, I'll say. And you said, what is whatever sector, like the Northeast, or I can't remember what it was, but you said, where is that in your house, and how is that room? And I said, oh, that's the junk room. That's the room that we throw everything and everything winds up. And you said, oh, that's why you've got to help with that energy, organize that room, and then you said, and then hang up your certificates, like your college certificates or whatever, a few things. So anyway, we did that. I said, we have to do this. And he said, really? And I said, yes, it's going to make a difference. So we did it. We organized the room. And I think it took 2 weeks. He found the perfect job. So
yeah, and I remember when I got that phone call from you, you were so excited. And of course I was so excited. I mean, I've been doing this professionally for over, 19 years, and I was a hobbyist long before that, but I never cease to get excited over sometimes when, it's magic. And, I always say to people, listen, I'm going to put it in perspective for you though. Feng Shui is not a magic pill. We will talk about, they call it the cosmic, we call it the cosmic trinity in Feng Shui. We'd say there's heaven luck. So it's like, our friend Cassandra would talk about, your astrology chart or your karma or what you came in with. We'd say there's heaven luck, there's earth luck, like working with a tool like Feng Shui, that we're working with earthly energies. And then there's man or person luck. It's like, okay, her husband was working he was actively putting out resumes, interviews. I mean, if he was just sitting by on the couch and never doing an interview, it'd be like, Angie, how is he ever going to find a job? Yes. But then it's like, okay, now let's implement the earth energy working with Feng Shui. We put it together. We had to do a little clutter clearing, because by the way, you can have a junk drawer in Feng Shui. You can't have a junk room because it's like a big giant folder. And by the way, the reason we had, this is something you can all do. The reason we had Angie have her husband put up his certificates, his diploma, his, congratulations, you are a graduate of your nursing program, is there's an honoring of that. And the area that we honor education in our, if we have our law degree or graduated from the University of Buffalo, Florida State, you get the idea. We hang any kind of a Reiki certification, intuitive development certificate, certification with Santosha. We would hang those in the northeast part of our home or of our office, or just of a given room. Like, again, pulling out the iPhone, where's the northeast corner? I'll give you a hint. It's to the left of the rising sun. We hang educational diplomas.
Okay.
However, if we are looking to achieve a little bit more success, for our children, maybe our kids are in swim team or play hockey, or we're trying to climb the corporate ladder, or maybe we'd love to be acknowledged in Business First as one of the top businesses, or in the 40 under 40. You get the idea. Or any press or media, we display that, or we would put like that applying for the Employee of the Year application in the south sector of our home, the south sector. And I know that we're updating the Bhagwan map on our Feng Shui Your World page. Karen is going to be working her magic soon for me. And the Bhagwan map, that again, the south sector we'd say is your fame, your reputation, but it's the area for knowledge and recognition. Now, I remember a few years ago, I worked with a big financial firm here locally, and they had said, you know, obviously the success of our business, our fame, our reputation, like what we're known for, that's important to us. And they go, we have been featured in the press locally and nationally, but they're like, we're really not into displaying all that. So I said, that's fine. You know, you don't have to do that. But then with them, we guided them towards maybe like a really bold, like artwork and statement piece. And that was like a big sector for them. It was a big wall. So we did express it through artwork, but just so you know that there's differentiators there. And I got to tell you, I mean, probably check back on my website, which is fengshuiyourworld.com. And I know Karen will be putting that in chat. Midweek, we have a blog called, you know, What is Feng Shui? And a little teaser here. You can click on the Bhagwan map and see it. But if you join our newsletter, it's going to be downloadable. So you could learn a little bit more about, you know, really basic Feng Shui application. And by the way, you know, if it sounds like something interesting, like you may want to attend our annual energy class, I just have to do a little disclosure and say, it's a little bit of an advanced level class, but don't let that deter you. Okay. But listen, if you're watching and either you've had a consultation with me or you've read a book or you've done some Feng Shui experiments over the years, you're going to be well-versed and you're going to be ready to come to my class.
You explained it because I have to admit when I came.
Oh, that's it.
Oh, there's the map. Yeah, go ahead, talk about that.
Yeah, so this is what you're going to be seeing updated on my website on the, you know, on the blog page. What is Feng Shui? Why Feng Shui? So this is the Feng Shui Bhagwan map. This is the building blocks of what we work with on a basic level. I should say basic because on a basic level, these are the building blocks and how we work with energy: north, south, east, west, and then those 4 subdirections. And you can see that each one of those sectors relates to a different theme in your life. You know, the north is career, the northeast is knowledge, education, also research and the development of inner wisdom, like taking classes at Santosha or the wonderful summer offerings and catalog, development of inner wisdom for sure. The east is our health and family. The southeast represents wealth and prosperity. The south we touched on is fame and reputation. Southwest is love, marriage in traditional circles. It's also the female head of the household. By the way, females really need to take very good care of their health this year. Okay. West is our children, our creativity. It's also communications. It's speaking. You know, if we're having some issues with being able to speak our truth or feeling a little stifled at the throat chakra, we need to look at the west sector of our home. Northwest is helpful people, mentors, spirituality. And then coming back to the north, which is, you know, life's path and journey in our career. And then I would be remiss in not mentioning the center point of our home is known as the chi center, the energetic center. And really that's all about like the center, essence, and core of our being. So this is the big map that we're going to look at specific in the year of the tiger, how to change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
What do we need to do in each sector to make sure that the current energy is boom, you know, ready to go?
That's what I wanted to ask. So like say north, you're in career. I think that's what it said. And so what you want to do, like if you're interested really in getting your career going this year, you want to enhance the energy in that sector of your house. Is that what that means?
Yes, it is. But now let me make a little disclaimer. And this is another thing that I navigate people through in any given year. The north, you know, is going to be a great sector this year. Particularly for career, and it is the home territory for business and career because you can see that on the Bhagwan map. Yeah, but it also has what's known as the annual victory star energy. So, you know, it's all about working with the right colors, the right materials. You know, do you or don't you need a crystal or there to ground that energy, create some flow? But in any given year, sometimes there are sectors that are just phenomenal. But then sometimes there's a sector that's like, it's phenomenal, but we need to protect it. So let me give a tip here. This is going to be one of the sectors where we need to protect that. And I'll guide you that in the class. Someone asked in chat, and I don't know the exact question that they asked, but I want to talk a little bit about bed placement.
Oh, yeah. That was hi, Melody. It was Melody.
Okay. Hi, Melody. So bed placement, every year we touched on, like, don't sleep when you're laying in bed at night. This year, you don't want to sleep. I'm going to have a little Buddha over my shoulder. Here's my Buddha prop.
Oh,
if
I love
Buddha was laying in bed, we wouldn't want Buddha laying in bed with his head or his or her head, their head.
Yeah, there.
Pointing towards the north or the northeast in the reclining position. Going back to the north, which is the career sector, there's some do's and don'ts where we need to put some protectors in place. Don't really want to disturb it, but we can tap into otherwise we're going to tap into flow and good stuff and really go for the gusto in our business environment. Because I tell you what, the north in the past year, again, going in the final weeks of the year of the ox, we're kind of in the changing of the guard time. You can feel the energy already shifting. It's funny. I started feeling it a little bit earlier than usual this year. I started feeling it like end of December.
I did too. Yeah.
And I love it when, the sensitive types start texting me going, is it shifting? Is it shifting? And it was early. You could feel it too early this year, Angie.
Yeah, I definitely could. And other people too were saying the same thing to me.
Yeah.
Like something's changing. I feel like something changing. You just feel it.
Yeah. I think what the sense of relief is going to be with the north. The north has been a spot that's been a little bit weaker for health in the past year. And it hasn't been big dramatic things. It's been like little things like nagging little things. Like if a person has, a nagging little something, we all know what those might mean in our own body, or something we haven't quite mastered, even in the health and wellness category. And I also want to put in perspective about these energies, whether they're great or they're not so great.
Yeah.
It matters more and you're impacted more depending on what sector these energies are in. Like, I'll give you an example. The north, which I just said is a little bit weaker for nagging health things.
Yes.
That in my home, that is our master bedroom. And so of course I feng shuied that. I didn't want any health, potential health issues. I wanted to suppress that energy and beef it up and strengthen it up. And, knock on wood, I'm sitting at a wood table. We overall were very, very healthy. I think we did have like a couple minor little thingies, but it's like that they were pretty much, nipped in the butt. And listen, there's practical. If I'm saying there's maybe some health stuff coming up, this is a year, I'm going to stress this, the practical heaven luck, earth luck, man, person, woman, child luck. Yep. If you have anything health-wise come up this year, the practical in the year of the tiger is please get it checked out. Whether you are into traditional medicine or alternative medicine, this is not a year to close your eyes to something or sweep it under the rug. Go get checked out, see your homeopathic practitioner. Again, there's many ways to the mountain. Eat your fruits and vegetables. Do you get the idea?
Yeah.
This is the year to take good care of your health too, because health is wealth, right? We're talking about tapping into financial luck, but what do
you have if you don't have your health?
On health, in the past 2 years, right? Yeah. Some of us maybe we've kind of took it for granted, and we've really, really honor and realize the definite importance of that.
Oh, we have a question. Hi, Cindy. I'm interested in learning about feng shui. What is the best source of info? I mean, I think
you're coming to the right place.
Yeah, I think that the class on Saturday, because I have to say with that I was kind of a beginner when I first came, and Cheryl had kind of told me a little bit, but not a lot. But you explain it so well that I walked out and I understood. Like, in Linda's class, she talks a lot. There's handouts, and I like on the handout you can take notes, so you can write extra things down. But I didn't even have to write a lot down because you have it in the notes. And I learned
Cindy,
a lot.
Cindy, if I could also say, and I'll say this to everyone, on my Feng Shui website, fengshuiyourworld.com, we have a shop page. And I started doing, video and remote teaching in the past 2 years, again, because of the pandemic and the need to be able to still stay connected with my clients, et cetera. So we have a few, thank you, Karen, for putting that up. We have, if you want to start off kind of like building yourself up, these are like the building blocks of how to approach Feng Shui. So, you know, you can start off with our Feng Shui Essentials class, that, you know, otherwise known as the Basics of Feng Shui. I think that's about an 1.5 hour course online. It's a video class that you can watch on demand, which is beautiful. As Angie said, my classes are always rich in visuals, but also downloadable handouts. You'll get a copy of the Bhagwan map. You'll learn about your personal power directions. We introduce you to a little bit of symbolic Feng Shui, which we were touching on. And then I also have a class on demand on clutter clearing with Feng Shui. Again, you know, like Angie's story about her husband cleaning out that northeast room. So important. And, you know, some of us get so overwhelmed by clutter. And listen, we live in a consumption society. I think no matter where you're watching from any part of the world, we pretty much are kind of, we've been trained that way, right? So, but again, you know, clutter clearing with Feng Shui helps guide you how, with even just starting with 20 minutes a day, to start making some progress and chipping away and opening up space and creating flow. Plus, clutter clearing is a very big thing to do leading up to the energy change. I will also make an announcement. This is, again, a good learning mode for Cindy and everyone.
Yes.
Starting on Monday, January 17th, that's 2 days after my class. It is exactly 2 weeks lead into the Lunar New Year, Happy Year of the Tiger. So the most powerful thing that any of us can do, whether you decide to go for the gusto and implement annual Feng Shui or not, is to prepare and clean and declutter your home. It doesn't mean you need to spend all day long doing it. Right? We all live busy, busy lives. But just with 20 minutes a day, whether you watch that video first or not, you can make a difference. But what I want to tell you, what I'm going to do is on my Feng Shui, not my Feng Shui Facebook page, Karen, maybe you could put that up, how to find me on Facebook. Every day leading up to the Lunar New Year on February 1st, I am going to give a helpful tip for the day on like a new thing to focus on in the home. You'll probably see me talking about, you know, cleaning out the wallet, among other things. It's like we can all be in it together. Like, all right, what are we going to, how are we going to?
I love that. Yeah.
I'm excited to do that.
And I can get on there and say, guess what I did, and talk about it.
And you know what? I encourage you all to please, post your daily successes. And I mean, they are successes because really you feel so good doing that. And then I just want to finish up mentioning, you know, just take a look at that shop page. I think there's a couple other videos. You know, I wouldn't invest in the Year of the Ox. I mean, I think it's still up there. You know, that energy is leaving the building soon. So either
I'll take it down for you, Linda.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Karen. See, that's why it's fabulous that we have our tech guru here with us.
And if you happen to miss the class or you can't attend live, Linda does sell it after the fact. So
So and even if they sign up, they can receive the recording. You need to post that because I've had people ask me that. We got to put that on Facebook.
So then you can watch it, if you can't attend live, you can watch it on demand. Or if you say, God, then, you know, the next month is so ridiculously busy for me, or I'm traveling and I'm going away, you can purchase it anytime. And I have to say to you, listen, I think it's really important and powerful to work with the energy early on. The sooner the better. And, you know, my diehards, like, you know, Angie, Karen, Cheryl, her friend, they were going to be changing that energy. Boom, February the 4th, moving everything around.
Yeah.
But I have done annual updates for people as late as December in any given year, and it's still powerful to work with. So never think it's too late, even if you happen to be watching this rebroadcast, you know, in April because you stumbled upon this interview, you know, on YouTube or, you know, at Lily Dale.
You can do it anytime, or clear the clutter. Like, I love that you say that, because anytime I clear any clutter, I don't want to do it because I look at it and I look at like the mess on my kitchen table because I work there, you know, and I think I don't even want to look at that. But when I make myself do it, and I organize it, I feel so much better all the way around.
Yeah. And you know what? I want to make one other comment, you know, regarding clutter outside of the videos. Again, I have a blog page, and I know I have a blog up there about clutter clearing with Feng Shui. Cindy and others, my blog page, visit it. It's rich full of tips and information. So there's a lot of resources and tools. And then, if you actively, like us on Facebook or, join our newsletter, you can find out when I'm teaching, additional and new classes. And by the way, I will probably, I talked a little bit touched on the period of 9. I will probably already consider developing a new class on the period of 9, like what the coming energy will be, maybe as soon as this fall.
I'll be
2022. But if not, I will certainly do that by spring of 2023, because we all need to know how to prepare for what's to come in 2024. And I'll share a really quick story in our final minutes, how I even became a teacher of Feng Shui. I became a certified Feng Shui practitioner in 2002. And if anyone would ever have told me I'd be a public speaker, I would be like, are you kidding? Because I remember I took a public speaking class in college, and I think I don't know, I'm sure I didn't fail the course, but I did not do so well in it. And I was like, always, my knees were knocking. It was not my strength. And I became a practitioner in 2002. And then around 2003, one of my cousins, helpful people, worked at AirSep Corporation at the time. And she had these 2 colleagues, these wonderful colleagues named Karen and Kathy, who worked together.
Oh, yeah, I know Karen and
Kathy.
Kathy.
And they opened up one of the first really big hallmarks of
90 seconds.
teaching and wellness in Western New York, called Northeast Holistic.
Yeah.
And my cousin said, oh, you should talk to them about teaching a class on Feng Shui. I'm like, are you kidding me? I couldn't teach. And then I met this. She's like, just meet them. And they said, you know what? People need this information, like just put a little class together. And then I'd already been, a professional consultant for about a year and a half at that point. And then we were coming upon the first changing of the guard. We were going into what
60 seconds
in 2004. And I said, oh my God, I got to figure out all this energy for my clients as they're moving into the new energy and what they need to do in their homes and renovate or not renovate. And then I realized, oh my God, I got to get this information out into the hands of the masses. And that is how my first class began, because I felt a need to serve. So
yeah, I know what you mean. I love that story. I didn't know it. Karen, can you put up the event again? Because I want to, before we run out of time, that next Saturday is Year of the Tiger annual Feng Shui energy changes. It's a hybrid class. So it's on Delaware Avenue. I don't know the exact address, a Unity Church in Buffalo. And I think Karen's putting that up, but you can also take this course online.
10 seconds.
And if you're not available that day, you have to work, what have you, you can also sign up for it and receive the recording. So there's a lot of different ways. That's what I'm grateful about with Zoom, is there's a lot of different ways that you can get this information. And I recommend it so much. I know Karen does too.
If I could do one final thing, and I know I saw it in chat, that I just want to point out to everybody. For all of our viewers here today, and in my gift to being on air with Angie and Karen and Lily Dale, is Karen posted a promo code. Our early bird special actually expired last night at midnight. But if you use that promo code in the chat, if you're interested in joining our class and you haven't registered yet, you will get the early bird special rate until Tuesday at midnight. But you have to do Lilydale in all capital letters with 88. That's double prosperity for all of us. Yeah. That's the code you will use on, is it through my website, Karen, or does it work on Santosha's website too?
It works on all of them. Yep.
Yeah. Fabulous. Okay. Fabulous.
All right.
So I just put the abundance.
Yeah. This link has a little bit more information on you, the Linktree link. So it has your video and your past interviews that provide it. Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Karen. See, I love that how Karen did that and put different banners up, right, Linda, and kept pulling things up while we were talking.
Oh, yeah. This is our
I hope I haven't made you all seasick. I've been switching them quite a bit.
Yeah, Karen is the best. If anybody needs any technical assistance or advice, Karen's the person to ask.
Absolutely.
For sure. We both highly recommend you, Karen.
Excuse me.
Yeah. So everybody, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate it very much. I want to thank Linda Ellson for coming on and giving us so much awesome information. and Karen Sully for handling all our tech stuff. Next week, I'll be back next Sunday at 11 again, and my guest is going to be Becky Wisniewski. And Becky is a medium, but also a Bach flower remedy consultant. She knows everything about Bach flowers, and she's going to talk about what Bach flower or natural remedies are going to be best for you as we're in this new year. So I'm excited about that too. So thank you, Linda.
You're very welcome. My pleasure. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you.
This is a warm up. Happy New Year.
Yes, for sure. Oh yeah, Linda will be back. We're gonna celebrate the energy changes New Year. We have to figure out the date for that.
Fabulous. I'd love to celebrate with all of you.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. We appreciate that. Okay. Thanks, Karen.
Yep.
Bye, everybody.
I'm not sure why